was, I think, a dream come true, really. It's something that, as a professional footballer, I'd set my sights on, and I think I reached probably one of my biggest goals that I set for myself, is to be part of a championship winning team, and to do that with Chelsea, the team that I played for such a long time, it just makes it extra special.
I'd like to pick out a few things from that season, starting with your first career hat-trick against Blackburn. Strikers live on goals, so how did that feel?
Yeah, it felt great. I think I started off the season well against Man United, got the winner, and hit a bit of a dry spell. The team wasn't playing as fluent as we were going to do in the season, and I think that I'd scored a goal in midweek in the Champions League, which lifted me a little bit, and went on to score the hat-trick. Like you say, strikers are usually judged on goals, so great feeling. I think it was about 11 or 12 times that I hit a brace, so it was about time.
Because you had two that day, so when you were brought down for the penalty, was it only ever going to be you that took that?
Well, yeah, I think Frank would have had to fight me for it, but he was generous enough just to let me take it. I only had to ask him nicely, really.
But in that December, you were named Iceland's Sportsman of the Year, 17 years after your father had won the award. How much of an honour was that for you?
Yeah, fantastic. It was a great honour, because it's nice to be appreciated in your home country as well. They obviously follow me closely, and they follow the Premier League closely, and I think over the years the Chelsea fan base and the fan club in Iceland has grown a little bit.
Now, moving on to our first trophy of the season, which was the Carling Cup. How special was that day for you?
No, it was, I think, the start of the season for a lot of people on the outside. They think, well, Carling Cup is not such a big trophy, doesn't have the same charm as the FA Cup maybe, but when it came to the final day, I think everyone realised, well, it's a big day, it's a big moment, two big teams, and you don't want to come out a loser in a final. Fortunately, we came out strong and came out on top.
You came on in the second half, and for the first time under Jose Mourinho we saw you playing in midfield. How did you find it?
Oh, I felt great. I got a lot of the ball, and I think a lot of our passing was good after I came on. There were good fluent movements, and I think attacking wise I gave the team a few more options, and we really went for it, because I think in the end we had Didier and Kezman up front with me in midfield, who really didn't know how to defend yet. I think my defending came a bit later on in that year, but it went well. The movements were good, the passing was good, and the rest is history.
How much of a lift did that give the squad? Because it came at the end of the week when we'd lost in the FA Cup at Newcastle. Then there was everything that happened at the Nou Camp, and people were saying they're starting to wobble, it's not going to happen. So how much did it mean to the squad winning the Carling Cup?
No, great. Like you said, we dropped out the FA Cup. We're a bit unfortunate, I'd say. Everyone knows with Wayne Bridges' injury, we'd had 3 substitutions in a game where we were sort of getting a hold of the game, getting on top of Newcastle a little bit.
Well, then, to a night we are never going to forget at home to Barcelona, 7 minutes on the clock. Remind us of what was your 12th goal of the season.
Well, I think Frank played a long ball to Kezman on the sort of right, and I just made a darting run through the middle. I think I started in my own half, and he played an inch-perfect ball, to be honest, and I managed to cut the defender, or chop, as we say here at the training ground, and I just blasted it in the net. Amazing feeling. I think a start that we needed, and the next 30 minutes were just unbelievable, weren't they?
Could you believe it, with 18 minutes on the clock and we're 3-0 up at home to Barcelona?
No, honestly, I had to pinch myself, because 3-0, I looked to our bench and everyone was laughing and cheering, just shaking their heads, what's going on here? And we sort of looked at each other on the pitch, just thinking, wow, this is unbelievable. Obviously we got a slight slap in the face before half time, because we went in only 3-2 up.
Now, before we get to what was the biggest tie of the season, I have to mention Anfield in the Champions League. It was the end of our Champions League journey. How heartbreaking was that evening?
Well, it's hard to describe. It's like I mentioned earlier, as a player, as an individual, as a part of a team, you set yourself goals, and one of those goals is to win the Champions League. Especially in a team that we play in, we've done everything right leading up to that game, and it was just a matter of an inch here, an inch there. That's how close these games go.